Hey there, Luminary here, and it is 1:44 in the morning Pacific Time on the 29th of October 2011. I released a video for Mr. Boogie 2988 because it seemed like he was having a bit of problem with this commenter. Is either that or he's having an off day and he let it get to him. I'm not sure, but be sure to stop by Boogie 2988's channel and give him your support and what he's doing. And don't give him any flack. He's trying real hard, which is probably more than what most people would. But on to what I'm going to talk about today. Gamestop now selling Android tablets in select stores. Why didn't they do this sooner? The tablet, anytime a new device comes out, somebody tries to find a way to put a game on it. They've done it with digital wristwatches. They've done it with everything. If it has code, somebody's going to try to find a way to put a game on it. Why didn't GameStop think of this sooner? It would have been a great opportunity if they missed the iPhone bus to jump on the Android train. It doesn't make any sense, especially since it is all one unit and you don't have to sell any video games with it. They have to go download it. It's a no-brainer. It should have been done already. I didn't even bother reading the news article on it. I just looked at the title. I'm like, oh, you dumbasses, really? Come on, think about what you're doing. I don't know who's running your business, but they should be fired. You should hire somebody else with some common sense. Well, now we have Brawl Busters. Apparently, this particular massively multiplayer online beat-your-ass game is going to go into beta phase, open beta phase, November 3rd. I might check it out. It sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting. It says non-stop action in the press releases, and I'm all for non-stop action as long as it's not like Grand Chase. It was great for a week. And then I wanted to stab my eyeballs out and cut my fingers off so I wouldn't touch the damn game because it was so frickin' boring. Well, next we have Slash. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to outright say it. It is a Fruit Ninja clone. I don't know if it's made by the same people. I don't know who's representing it. The press release didn't have a company name. It is a vegetable slashing game. Apparently UFOs have come down and infected the vegetables with who cares? Anyway, you're slashing vegetables instead of fruit. And they added some neat features for the paid version, like being able to take the pictures of your friends and contact lists and Facebook, all that good stuff, and take their faces and paste it onto the vegetables so you could hack and slash it up. Okay, well, I guess if you have the phone number of everybody you hate in your phone, which I'm not sure anybody does unless you're one of those people that want to keep your friends closer, or no, your enemies closer than your friends, then by all means grab it. It does have a time attack mode. It is free. I have a link in the description. In fact, I have a link in the description just about everything I talk about. So I think I'm just going to announce that at the beginning of every show now, and hope like hell somebody remembers. But anyway, the time attack is for free, so you can go pick up a simple slash and vegetable game with a time trial. And this next one's going to kill you. Everybody hates planking. Everybody loves showing off that they can plank. They're coming out with a virtual planking game for the Xbox 360. It's both genius and idiotic, but then again, I think it would cut out a lot of the Darwin Awards. Yeah, people won't be as stupid. They can be stupid on their Xbox 360, and anybody who plays Call of Duty or Black Ops knows that there's a lot of stupid people on. And to end this with, we have Link's journey back into the heat of battle. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is going to be available for the Wii on the 20th, and if I remember correctly, there was a press release or a news article on how Nintendo they overshot what they thought they were going to make by some ridiculous amount. I feel really bad for Nintendo. I think I've explained my views on Nintendo, but I'm going to give it again anyway. They were one of the best. If you wanted a game, it was on Nintendo. Nowhere else. They had ironclad, draconian contracts with their developers or other publisher companies that they could not make any games for any other system other than Nintendo systems. That was it. Of course, at the time, Nintendo was one of the most prevalent out there. You had the Sega Master System, and that was, it would look like an Atari Atari 2600, just a bit bigger and bulkier with some cooler features, but the Nintendo was the way to go at the time until the Genesis came out. And even still, Nintendo just dominated. It took them forever to come out with a Super Nintendo just to keep up with the 16-bit, but all the good stuff that people wanted to play was on the Nintendo. Okay, well, they finally came out with the Super Nintendo, and their product support was still good. I'm not exactly sure if the contracts were still in effect. I have no idea how long the contracts were for. I don't think it really matters. I just know that when Squaresoft was able to go, they were like, peace! I think they still develop a little bit for Nintendo, but not like they used to. I mean, Final Fantasy used to be a staple for just Nintendo. And at 7, that's when it made its debut on the PlayStation 1. But anyway, so over the years between the Nintendo 64, which had a very, very strong start, and then it was littered with software nobody wanted to play. Unless it was a Mario game, a Zelda game, a Star Fox game, or a Metroid game. And I don't think Metroid was ever released on the Nintendo 64. I believe it was I've seen it on the Game Boy, the 3DS. No, not the 3DS, the DS. I'm sure it'll play on the 3DS. Let's see. So it's the original, the DS, the Game Boy. I don't think they came out with a Virtual Boy version, but they've had several versions, and I think the only system that it never came out for was for the Nintendo 64. There was a Zelda for the Nintendo 64. There was a few Mario games. I think there was even a Yoshi game. There was a little bit of everything, and it was all Nintendo franchise stuff. And that's just what it's come down to. If you look at everything beyond the Super Nintendo and really look at what Nintendo's doing, and Nintendo's afraid. And I mean afraid of change. At the time when Nintendo was even considering and developing and putting out there before, I believe they lost the contract or they pissed the people off. I can't remember. They were actually going to come out with a CD system for their Super Nintendo. And it looked pretty cool. I remember seeing it in the Electronic Gaming Monthly magazines going, wow, I can't wait to get this, because at that point there was the Sega CD, but over time, all of a sudden, I didn't see a CD, peripheral for the Super Nintendo, but yet the Sega Genesis had the Sega CD, which clasps onto it, and another dongle that clasps onto the top to make it 32-bit, and all this other crazy stuff. And it was like expensive Legos with electronics. But Nintendo only has a snowball's chance in hell if they just publish their own games. Like steadily publish their own games. Screw all the third-party support, just remove all the licensing and make their own games and have a standard. That's the only way to do it. I mean, if you look at Xbox Live indie games, that's where all the trash games go. For the Wii, they are just prevalent. You can buy them for $50 off the shelf, and they hit like the $10 bin in about a week. I guess it's really all up to you, but the best games that Nintendo has is its own franchise games. And I feel really bad for Nintendo. I have a feeling it's going to be phased out within the next 5 years just because it's doing so crappy. What can you do? But I don't know. We'll just stick with that for right now. I'm Luminary, and I'll see you next time.